She has always been a glass ceiling breaker with every job that she's had. She's always had to compete on an uneven playing field, which is still obviously a challenge for women today. But her success sends a message of what is possible with hard work and resilience and determination, and a country that is more than ready for her. And I would say this to you on a personal note. It's not just the little girls around our country of all colors who will look up to her as a role model, but my grandson is both Black and Indian. And I love the fact, he's only 15 months old, but that he will grow up thinking it's perfectly normal to have someone who looks literally just like him, who is a woman in a position of power and influence.
Welcome back to 2020, A Time for Change. That was Valerie Jarrett, former senior advisor to President Barack Obama, talking about watching Kamala Harris become the first woman and woman of color to be vice president-elect. So bringing in Sibile, Marcellus, and Kristin Myers here. We were all once little girls as well. My Instagram feed was full of people posting pictures of their daughters watching on Saturday. And it's kind of funny, like when people used to talk about, oh, we're going to make phone calls and be able to see people. We talked about that forever. And then all of a sudden it happened and you just do it on your phone all the time and you kind of begin to accept it. And it almost feels like that we've been waiting for this so long. And then the moment arrived and here it is. I got to watch, I watched with my daughters, and one of them, 7 at the time, now 8, she would want you to know. We watched it, and at the end, she asked me, she said, can vice presidents wear dresses? And at first I thought, it's so funny that great that you're asking that question, but also like, we're still talking about clothes. Like the double burden here is not going away anytime soon, even for a little girl that, thinks like that this is normal.
Jen, I absolutely love that. I mean, your daughter asking, if a vice president can wear a dress or, I mean, it really speaks to how much Kamala Harris has achieved. We haven't seen this before. There's no playbook for a female vice president, and she kind of has to walk through that, and she's going to be judged every single step of the way. It seems like we can't get away of judgment on clothing when it comes to women after they've achieved and broken the glass ceiling. But in terms of Kamala Harris, she obviously did make a choice in terms of her wardrobe and how she wanted to present herself. And I think it really does speak to what she wants to accomplish. She really wants to be a woman who actually achieves something for her nation. It's a huge calling. She's talked about addressing racial inequity, oppression, systemic racism. Those are really hard topics. So obviously she wants to be taken as a woman who can actually deliver on those promises. That's what I take from Kamala Harris's presentation.
I think we don't talk often enough about how for many folks inside this country, Joe Biden was a choice that they made, but not with enthusiasm. They did not go to the ballot boxes and vote for him happily. They really did so more because they did not want to see President Donald Trump get another term. But that is not the case when you think about Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. People are excited about her. They are invigorated by her in the same way that you saw voters invigorated and excited about President Barack Obama. You have young girls of all races, of all stripes, that are able to now to look up and finally say, hey, there is someone that looks like me who is a woman in the White House, and particularly for Black and brown women who have long been left behind when it comes to politics, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to jobs. They now are able to look at the White House and say, there is someone that looks like me that is able to achieve the absolute heights of this political process. And I think that people voted for her absolutely enthusiastically. I think that most people are most excited when they look forward to the next 4 years, maybe not so much about having Biden in the White House, but knowing that he has a Black woman, an Asian American woman at his side as well.
And Kristin, what you said there also speaks to all the excitement when he picked her. It was like, who's he going to pick? Is it going to be a woman? Is it going to be a woman of color? So really delivering on all that excitement.
Yeah, it's interesting, Sibile, when you're talking about the excitement, because of course, during the primary, Kamala Harris didn't do that well. And then they had those moments on the debate stage and people thought, could the two of them work together? And the fact that they have been able to work together and that Biden made this decision despite all of that, I think shows hope beyond just the fact that the two of them have been able to bury whatever, happened there on the debate stage or other places as well. So again, I mean, it was exciting to watch with a couple little girls when I got to do it.
Pretty surprising that her campaign had flamed out as early as it did. Of course, rumors over running out of money, infighting within the campaign. However, I think Kamala Harris is definitely well positioned in the future, definitely going to be running again. And I think better positioned now to finally ascend to that seat, to that position. So we might have a President Kamala Harris in just a couple of years.
We'll definitely be looking at her record.
All right. Well, we will leave that there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That's it for 2020, A Time for Change. Hope you join us all next week at this time as we continue some of these conversations between myself, Jen Rogers, and Sibile Marcellus.